entertaining people, but with this potential for real depth.
Could I show you a little clip? And this is something that I've never quite understood, but I've always been fascinated by. And I want to get your opinion on it. Because it's, so being in comedy, there's a little bit of a, like with gong shows, they show a lot of times you only get through them if you're like a straight stand-up. But Viggo Venn sort of broke the rule book in that he...
Yeah, let's get him on. His name's Viggo Venn. Give it up for Viggo, everybody!
Never really know what's going on. Look at me sometimes like all you want to do is run. Hear me out, hear me out. It's all the things.
Incredible.
That's good.
But think like so it's 5 minutes. The every comic that I see go on there, they do straight sort of stand up. They do like 5 minutes joke. But he's the only person that I've really seen, apart from Russell Hicks, where he roasts the audience, who got through it just doing that. And it's intriguing because, like, logically, it doesn't make any sense why it's so funny and brilliant. But when you see it, it's amazing.
Yeah, I mean, it follows some rules. All right. I mean, so for folks listening who couldn't see that, what he's doing is basically a combination of a very tight structure, which consists of, taking off the high vis jackets, and that every time he takes off a high vis jacket, it's a cue. It's a music cue. So the same music comes back, and when the music is playing, he's dancing and kind of being raunchy and kind of putting his bum in people's faces and kind of like doing a little bit of a striptease type of feeling, but goofy idiot. And then he's cutting the music off with this hand gesture, which becomes a kind of repeated joke in itself. And it's very, very tight. It's very important that it's very tight, that the music stops right then, because it creates this kind of moment of suspension and silence. This point fix, right, where he's just like really present with the audience in a space of almost nothing. And then he starts to look for things which are not planned. So everything up to now is sort of planned. But then in these moments where he stops the music, he's looking for opportunities to do goofy things that are not planned. And he just does whatever comes into his head, right? So if he sees something interesting in the audience, he'll grab it. At one point, he just gave a high five to the person on the stage. At one point, he... what else? Oh, he started playing with the microphone stand and kind of messing with that. And that he takes that for as long as he possibly can. And it's at the point where he feels like the audience, he's starting to lose the audience or starting to lose that momentum, he'll take the next high-vis jacket off. And that's the cue for the next music, for the music to come back in again, right? And he goes back into this familiar, and the whole audience goes, we know this. We've seen this. It's the music thing again, where he's going to be a idiot striptease and do this thing. And then he stops it again. And then you don't know what's going to happen, because he goes into this space of, I'm going to mess with you now. I'm going to do something unexpected and mess with you for a while until you get bored of that. And then I'm going to take off the next one and go back to the music. So it's actually, if you analyze it and break it down like that, it's super simple. It's just this structure with play improvisation moments woven into it. And he's crafted it in that way, I think, to kind of, it's almost like the repetition gives the audience a sense of security so they can enjoy it. When you have a comedian coming on and just telling one joke after another, the audience is always like, okay, but what, I don't know what's coming next, or I don't know if this next bit is going to be funny, or there's no structure to it, no integrity to it, unless that comedian's very clever and it has a way of linking all those jokes in some way. But what he's done is instantly created this character with these defined movements and qualities that we get to know very, very quickly. And then we get to enjoy it as he keeps coming back to the same thing over and over again, but always with some unexpected surprise qualities in these in-between bits. So that, in that sense, it does make total sense why it works, right? Why it's funny.
Because this is a weird, wacky, stupid thing, and we're like, what daft thing is he going to do next? But
yeah, and we love repetition, right? There's this clown called Holly Stoppit. You may have heard of her. She's based in Bristol, and she's called Holly Stoppit because she always just repeats things over and over and over and over and over and over and over again until people just say, Holly, stop it. And then she keeps doing it. And she has this, instead of the rule of 3, she has the rule of 53, I think. Like, the more you do something, the funnier it gets, is her logic. And I think there is some truth to that there is a ridiculousness inherent in repeating things again and again and again, because it becomes ridiculous, and we just start laughing because it's so incongruous and ridiculous. So I think the more right, when he did this in Britain's Got Talent, he went back to ripping off the high-vis jacket like 10 times, maybe, at least, each time a little bit bigger, a little bit different, but it's still, the audience loves that repetition. They laugh because they can't believe he's done the same thing again. Like, what? He's just, you could see Ant and Jack backstage being like, what's going on? He's just doing the same thing over and over again. But there's something hysterically funny about that, about repetition.